Have you guys ever wondered what it was like to ride in a car that has 1,000+ horsepower? How about getting the feeling of being put back in your seat and feeling the torque of almost 800 pounds of torque? Or even just the feeling of riding in a car that does a 1/4 mile in 9 seconds? I'm Vandehey, and today we're riding in a Hennessy Trackhawk. This thing is crazy, and if you can tell right off the bat, he is on some slicks, and it is just a little bit wet out, so he may not be able to get on it a lot, maybe just a little bit, enough for the video to show you guys. This thing is just absolutely crazy. I am scared, nervous, and excited all at the same time, because this is probably going to go down as one of the greatest collabs on my channel by far, unless someone out there who watches this video sees this and says, hey, I want to collaborate with you. I have a car that's faster and better. I have no idea if that'll be the case, but as of right now, this car is going to be the biggest W on my channel. So you guys may have seen this Trackhawk in a few of my videos. He's made an appearance at some car events and some meets. Very, very little appearances in my videos, but I managed to find him on Instagram, and he is on Instagram as 9-second SUV. That is right, you heard me correctly. 9-second SUV. He does a 1/4 mile in 9 seconds, and rightfully so, because he has the tires for it. This thing is absolutely crazy, and as you can tell, I'm shaking. I think I'm a little more nervous than anything, because this is the fastest car that I will have ever been in. So I'm so excited. So guys, let's not wait any longer. Let's get the owner over here and talk about his car. We got the owner. His name is Chris. This is Chris, you guys.
What's up, boss? How's it going?
Good, man. Good. How you doing?
Good.
Good. So, Chris, I want to talk about your car for a minute. So tell us how long you've had it, what's done to it, and everything like that.
So I've had the car for about 6 years, coming here in March. It has a lot done to it, honestly. Essentially, it has a built motor, has a built transmission, built transfer case. It's going to have a 9-inch billet differential in the back. It has, reinforced axles. It has full suspension, basically. The motor is a 400 block stroker built by TKM. It has Titec heads. The fuel system's a four innovations fuel system, L4, which is 2 lines in, 2 lines back. Has injectors, has an interchiller system for the supercharger that keeps it pretty cold. It uses the AC system to basically chill out the intercooler and run a colder temps, essentially, at the air coming in. And it's sitting on welds all across, so they're forged welds. It has 20 inches in the front, has 17 inches in the back, basically on 29.5-inch Hoosiers, DBRs all across. And yeah, so she runs around 9.5 seconds at the track. Pretty good, 60 foot essentially, and it's a fun car. Like I've had it for a while. I like to compete. I like to compete in about 6 to 8 events a year.
Wow.
At the track, heads up, bracket racing, 1/8, 1/4 mile. It's just a very consistent car, and it's a fun one. Yeah.
That is awesome. Now you said you had it for about 6 years now.
Almost, yeah.
Where did you find it? Was it local?
I bought it at the Hillsboro Jeep. They had it there, essentially, and my sister's the one that found it, and we went and grabbed it because I was close to buying a white one.
Ooh.
And we really liked this color, and yeah, that was back in 2019, so it's been a while already with the car.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, so you got it before COVID?
Yes, I have had it before COVID, exactly.
Yeah, I know when COVID hit, the prices for cars and vehicles just skyrocketed.
Yeah, actually, when it skyrocketed, when I got the car, it's an MSRP of $98,000, right? And I got it for $80K.
Really?
It sat on the lot for about 16, 18 months, and they couldn't sell it.
Wow.
Because it was a fully loaded one. It was missing the TVs, and that was it. So it's a full panoramic roof, leather seats, everything, package, sound system. So they couldn't sell it, so I ended up basically kind of just giving a great price on it, and I honestly very fortunate got it at a good price. And so when the prices went up, it climbed up to like a 95K trade-in value, which was surprising, and it was tempting at the time, you know what I mean, because I owed 70K at the time on the car, and there was a 20K gain, and that's non-existent, right? And so of course that's all away now. You could find a good Trackhawk, you know what I mean, with decent miles, between a good 75 to 100K depending on what's done to it, and then even higher if it has a twin turbo or a different supercharger.
Right. Yeah, you mentioned that it sat for a while and you got it for a good price. That seems to be a lot of cases. That seems to be the case for a lot of people that got cars before COVID, because I did a video with a buddy who has a Mustang, and it was the same thing. He said that it sat at the dealership and they were asking like 50K over. And he got a good price on it because they couldn't sell it. So that seems to be the case for a lot of people.
So the car just had, of course, from sitting out on the lot, it was initially a showroom car, and then they kicked it out, and so it sat on the lot. So I had some attention needed to the paint, nothing that, a nice two-step paint correction didn't fix. And so, yeah, it was well worth it, essentially, the buy for me. And it's been fun. I have other cars that I enjoy, but this is essentially my track car. And I don't daily it anymore, but I do enjoy it. I do hit the back roads. I do drive it around to some car meets, some car shows, and got a truck and trailer for it now.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I was telling the audience. I was like, you have made it an appearance in a very few of my videos, and the audience seems to like seeing your car. I mean, these Jeeps are like one of a kind. You don't see them very often. And if I'm not mistaken, they are a supercharged V8, is that correct?
Yeah, so it's basically a Jeep SRT, but what they changed was the transmission, the drivetrain, and the motor, right? And so then they called it a Trackhawk.
Okay.
And the motor they put in there was the Hellcat out of the Charger and the Challenger.
Oh, okay.
But what happened is this car was an all-wheel drive. It's sold as a 4x4, but it's essentially an all-wheel drive, right? 70-30, 60-40, and 50-50 on the drivetrain, rear and front. So it just depends on the dial that you have, and usually at the track you're running 70-30 track mode, right?
Okay.
And so the car has a line lock, and I'm able to warm up my rears and lock the front diff, and it has a pretty good gadgets in it. So yeah, it's a fun one.
That's sick. That's awesome. So obviously, your car, when you've been at meets, I've heard your car start up and it sounds amazing. What exhaust system are you running on it?
So it's a full open exhaust system. It's a titanium exhaust system from the headers back. It weighs 26 pounds, the full exhaust. It's pretty nice. It's by GT House Meistercraft. The headers are Cook's headers, and it's sitting catless, of course. And so that's kind of what makes it growl, honestly. It has valves that are in there that are open and closed valves as well, but I kind of just tend to leave it open, right?
Right. You gotta make it sound good. Let everyone know you're coming.
Yeah, so it's a nice titanium. I like it because, from the rear you can't see the pipes as you're driving. It's something that's visible, so it's actually it's a pretty cool ordeal. I bought it in 2020. I've had it for 4 years, going on to 5, the exhaust system, and I've been very happy with it. They have great customer service, and yeah, so shout out to them and everyone help me out with the build, essentially.
I'm assuming that whenever you go to get it serviced at the dealership, everybody knows you from coming in, from having a cool car.
Actually the dealership that I bought the car at has a very trustworthy technician there that I have trusted with my car and done a lot. And the car's been through warranty work. They've had done things to it, essentially, and they're great, honestly. I'm very fortunate that the local dealership has a good technician that I trust. And if not, the car was built in Sacramento, California. Wow. That's where the motor was dropped in. That's where, most of the work, the fuel system, most of the work done to the car was done in Sacramento. And so most of the maintenance gets done here in Oregon at the Hillsboro dealership. Ask for Nick. If you're a Mopar around here, ask for Nick B, and he's a great technician.
Obviously, you said you don't daily it. It's your track car. And obviously, for a track car, you have to have special slicks. Where would someone find slicks like this? And are slicks expensive for this car?
Yeah, so, I mean, the set could run you a good, $1,400 to $1,600 for a set of slicks. And I usually go through 2 sets probably a year, specifically in the rear. But yeah, you can find him. I get him off of Summit Racing, if not Solus Racing. He's one day overnight shipped me a tire before in need, and they're expensive, and sometimes they fluctuate in availability.
Right.
Honestly, sometimes when you need them, they're sold out and you can't find them anywhere, and vice versa. When you don't need them, they're available. So I tend to try to have a set ready. This is my newer set that I just put in, so I haven't bought my secondary set, but I do plan on it because they are sometimes hard to get by.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. Beautiful interior, nice leather interior. That's awesome. Carbon fiber trim in the doors and on the dash. That's awesome. Do you have heated seats?
Yeah, heated and cooled seats.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about heated steering wheel? You got
heated
that?
steering wheel too,
Really?
man.
That's
Yeah,
sick.
and the panel roof, like I said, it's a pretty heavy ordeal. Has a sound system. So some pretty fast Trackhawks actually take off all these trims, take off all their carpet, and do a lot. I mean, it really matters in this car losing that weight. I'm telling you, there's some Trackhawks running 8.3s, you know, at 165, 170 miles an hour.
Wow.
And like, to get there, like, it's the power, but it's like, this thing's a brick, right? There's aerodynamics, and so these guys, some people find it worth it. I don't, but they will strip the whole thing out, take the carpet, take the console out, no speakers, you know, don't dash. Yeah. So.
And what you were telling me, he was just telling me off camera, is when he goes to the track, he actually takes out the back seats and the passenger seat to make it lighter.
Right.
How much weight do you lose when you take out the back seats
So
and
it's
the front
pretty
seat?
interesting. It's actually 200 pounds with the three.
Really?
So yeah, the front seat and the back seat loses 200 pounds just off that. The back seat's really heavy. It's nuts. And yeah, so the car itself weighs 5,500 pounds, like naturally, but I brought it down to under 5,100 pounds.
Wow.
With all the weight reduction things that I've done to it, including that. But it's a heavy car.
For sure. Yeah, when you're racing, every pound counts.
Yeah.
You know, you got to make it as light as
No,
possible.
definitely. And I need to take these off soon because it's adding weight here. As you can tell, I got to go through some tires. There's all that rubber there.
Right. All right, you guys. And with that, we are going to hop in. I'm going to get a cold start. Well, cold start because he already had it started to warm up. But I'm going to get a cold start for you guys so you guys can hear it. And we're going to jump in and go for a ride. Like I said, he may not be able to get on it a lot, but maybe just a little bit just for the video. But it should still be fun nonetheless. So let's get a cold start for you guys. This thing is loud. That scared me. Holy sh**. I can smell the E85. That is insane. Let's hop in and go have some fun. Now, driving Trackhawk, does it feel really big and heavy when you drive it, or does it?
Yeah, honestly, like, you feel safe in here, man.
That's
it's a damn tank, to be honest. That's the first thing I noticed when I bought it. It's like, it's very smooth, you know, electronic steering, etc. But you could tell, you know, you got some weight.
We'll roll the window down a little bit, and you guys can hear the exhaust a little bit. That sounds insane. It sounds like it wants to get up and go too. That's insane. Now, when the tires are warmed up, or as they're warming up, is it true that tires become a little softer so it gets grippier?
Right. Especially with the warm and like the stickiness, right? So a track actually lays down sticky prep. Like,
okay.
If you would spill baking soda and step on it, right?
Right.
It'd be kind of sticky. So that's essentially the compound that's on the track.
Okay.
And so the mixture of the heat and the heat of your tires when you warm them up makes it a more sticky feel, right?
Okay.
But yeah, she's loud, she's flowing, you know, she's a good one. Like she'll get it. And so
she sounds like she runs really good too.
So she gets a 0 to 60 in about upper 2.1 seconds, so it's fast.
That's almost like Tesla mode.
Yeah, it's actually Tesla gets like 1.9s, I think.
Have you raced Teslas?
I test Teslas, yeah. It's actually the dual motors. I've raced the Plaid and the Roll. Yeah, I mean, this thing is pretty equivalent essentially for the most part until you start getting into the upper speeds of physics, right? So
right.
That's where you kind of get reeled in and stuff like that.
That's crazy. Wow. How much torque do you have going to the wheels?
It makes 1,000.
1,000 pounds of torque. Wow.
It's a really good grab.
That is insane. And I'm assuming, you know, on a warmer day, the tires will grip a little bit more and it'll put you back a lot more.
And I bumped it up all the way to 3rd gear. That was good enough for a 1st or 2nd gear pull.
That's insane.
So that's like, yeah, but you know, it puts you back in your seat, definitely. I mean, it pulls 2 G's off the line.
Really?
Yeah, it pulls 2 G's off the line. So
that's crazy. We got a BMW flying by. That's crazy. But that's 2 G's. You know, I was going to talk about that too, but I was going to say, I can't imagine the G-forces that it does on like a really good warm day.
Right, in a sticky course. So essentially, like at the end of track day, if I did like eight passes or so, like my neck is sore, definitely at the end of the day, you know. And that's a big reason why, you know, those faster guys have to wear, you know, those neck braces.
Yeah.
Because, it's just very much a protection thing, and I'm not fast enough for it, but you could, the torque and the G's, you could feel why it's necessary.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, you guys, and with that, that is the video. Like I said, we weren't able to do too much of crazy things because it is wet. We do have to, you know, apply safety stuff even though it is wet. So he wants to reconnect for a part 2 on a warmer day, and we'll be able to do a lot more crazier things. Later, buddy. Yeah, you guys, this was a really cool experience. You know, hopefully you guys still enjoyed the video with what we were able to do, you know, with the wet conditions. It's not too terrible, but like I said, we got to worry about safety stuff, especially with a car that has that kind of performance on it. Just can't take any risks, and especially with the amount of money that he has into it. I don't know if I got on camera, but he said he has about 100 grand into it, which is absolutely crazy. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to drop a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next video. So, peace.